All right, we are going to be doing a VOD review for Abdullah 9000. It's been a while since I've done match ID VOD reviews, so my controls might be a little bad. I tried reviewing this when I woke up. I didn't like the outcome. I didn't like the content. I felt like I didn't give enough. So I rewatched it, wrote notes, and then left the notes at my work. So we're just going to wing it. The first thing I wanted to talk about is your guys' comp is brutally awful. They have a much better comp. And the way theirs works is, like, their comp is actually playable. Genos just heals the
5,
Andro, Lex,
3,
Ruckus that are supposed to
2,
dive you in your
1.
supports. So, something to keep in mind. Kronos 1, goodbye. You also pick up Nimble. Nimble probably is very good here because of their comp. I probably would have done the same thing. Your loadout is okay in other matches, but for this match specifically, I think it would have been better if you had dash reset on right click rather than presence cooldown. You also don't run the cooldown on elimination card. I thought that was pretty interesting. It's pretty good. You should try it out. Overall, your loadout looks okay though. So, or is it cooldown on kill or something like that?
Here we go.
Okay, so you take high ground, you miss this Q. Something that you don't do a lot during this game is respect their cooldown, or not their cooldown, sorry, their respawn timers and like tracking where they are on the map. If you can't see everybody on their team, you should be pretty scared, honestly, because they have so much backline pressure and whatnot, like a lot of dive.
First blood. Okay. Who is holding W?
That's a good kill right here. You need to dash to the right, which you do. You turn away from the Andro. You had the potential to kill him because he re-peaked. Good players typically wouldn't re-peak that, but you could have gotten a free kill on him. I'm pretty sure if you had like turned around and pre-charged your Q. Yeah. You just lost your Grover, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Always be watching the kill feed. You run up on a Victor, and for some reason you jump while you are charging your Q. Just don't forget about midair and accuracy. You probably would have been able to kill at least the Victor here had you not done that. However, it ended up being a 2v1, so. Okay. Your team is dead, so you're just chilling up here. This is respectable. The right play to do. Something also that I was going to mention is, since they're solo Genos, I mean, Victor's cardio, but really taking the time to line up your Qs is pretty impactful here. Just because Genos. I have no idea why the Andro isn't killing the Pip, but that's a thing.
Enemy killing spree.
This is okay, but you should not have used your dash to get over here. You just lost your Pip. Your con is, for some reason, going to the high ground. It's a lot safer to just walk there. You could dash out earlier or whatever. This situation's pretty sticky because Andro can just dash up and get to you on high ground. And the Lex is right there. I think you... I don't know what I would have done. It just kind of fucked.
Rampage.
That's okay though.
War is not over.
I don't really like that you're all the way down here.
Enemy killing spree.
I think my ideal position to be right out of spawn right here would be to go right and sit on your high ground. This is just a really... I mean, you get dismounts being here. But also, like, the Ruckus and the Victor are just free to fuck up your team because you're not really there.
Kneel.
You don't need to ult him there. I guess it's okay, but...
That's 2 in a row.
Okay.
I shall wear this as a badge of honor.
And Grover is 1v1ing the Lex. Cool.
Killing
Good kill. You do want to be a bit careful here because you were pretty far up without your team. You can live here as long as you respect their incoming damage. I can't remember if you die or not. You don't. Cool. Oh, also you bought morale boost. We'll get into it a bit more later, but it was actually a really bad buy for you right here. Typically, I wouldn't buy morale boost on Lian anyways, just because I'm not sure if you know, but if you kill somebody with your ult, you get 50% of your ult charge back. So, yeah, we'll talk about it a bit more.
30 seconds remaining.
You should be really interested in backing up here. Not backing up, but being mindful.
Step into the light.
No, it's just unlucky Genos ult.
Okay, that guy's stream sniping. 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your team is literally just so far up.
This is an honorable death.
They got 2 of us. An enemy is savage. They got 2 of us. Enemy killing spree.
Yeah, it's just unlucky.
I will have my vengeance. I stand stalwart.
Anyways, this entire next round, you do not ult once. You don't ult while you're capping. You also don't ult while you guys are pushing. You just kind of sit on it.
5, 4.
To be honest, I am not the most opportunistic Lian ulter myself, but the fact that you wasted credits on morale boost 1 and, you know, you're gonna get it morale boost 2 here, is just kind of like ult more. I would have ulted the Victor probably as soon as I dash, just because it's a super aggressive play, but
Enemy killing spree.
it's okay. I think it's an all right play. It's pretty risky though. Had you used your ult there, you would have killed Lex fast enough to kill the Andro. Also, if you hit your Q, but I mean, people miss Qs. I am awful at landing my Qs whenever I go Eminence for some reason. Again, another opportunity to ult. Your Grover dies. You could have... Okay, I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I'm pretty sure if you ult the Ruckus, you kill him fast enough for the Grover to live. Ideally, I believe. I'm not going to say for certain, but... Okay, this is fine. However, normally I try to stand right here because you both get poke on them, on where the Victor's standing. If the Lex was more this way, you'd have poke on him. You'd have poke on down here, and you would also be able to dismount over here. That's where I would have stood, but...
Defend.
Overall, it's fine, I guess. Playing safer rather than, you know, more risky and dying is typically the right thing to do. Here you should not be here. Sorry, I'm remembering my notes as I like see the gameplay. You guys won the fight really late, which means, as you just saw, Lex is coming back on his horse. And now you're just kind of fucked. You either needed to go there, or well, no, you guys needed to win the fight earlier to take that spot and like claim their high ground. Rotating to over here is a really good play because you can see up there. You can, oh my god, that tree. You can peek over this way, but yeah, this just puts you in a really unfortunate spot. You might have been able to live if you had dash cooldown, maybe not.
The war is not over.
You buy morale boost 2 here, and you have not ulted during the capture point. Spoilers, you also do not ult during the push. Make sure you hear the Lex on your right. Diving after the Vic is pretty risky, considering they have Lex and Ruckus. I'm pretty sure that gets punished if they play better.
In a row. Killing spree.
But for some reason, I mean, they don't really. Okay, that's fine.
Capture point spawning in 15 seconds.
I think morale boost is okay here. Wrecker's really nice into Ruckus. He's a flux gen Ruckus. It's nice into non-flux gen Ruckuses as well. Or you could have maybe went a defensive item. On your rollout here, I think personally I would have come over here because I mean we're solo tank in our supports. As we've noticed from the gameplay, they all kind of group together, which, I mean, playing close is probably the right thing to do, considering you have a Pip and a Grover. But that's okay. You should be really scared right here. Oh. If you shot the Lex before you ulted him, you could have gotten the ult 50%, but you should be really scared making a play like that because you know that the Victor knows that you're there and has line of sight on you because he was just shooting you. And then you're also engaging into a duel with an additional person. It's a pretty risky play, but it works out.
This is an honorable death.
You die there. I think the only thing to say about that is to just not be there.
Dies 1,000 deaths.
Taking high ground alone with your guys' comp into their comp is pretty scary. I definitely, one place I really like to stand, oh, where the Andro is. If I'm not comfortable sitting on high ground, I like sitting in there because typically it gives my supports better LOS if I'm not on the high ground, or if they're not on the high ground with me. You get a bunch of good angles, there's good cover, escape routes.
They got 2 of us.
All that shit.
I am stronger. I have judged this world.
Killing
I need to see my
spree.
banners.
Defend. Escort the payload.
I'd be super careful here. They're all respawning. It's something you do a lot throughout this game that I noticed was just not respecting their respawn timers. Those are definitely very useful to keep in mind.
Enemy killing spree.
Especially because your team is pretty bad. Like, you have a really awful comp and whatnot. So the less mistakes you make, the better. You're on 55 health here, and you push back up, which is actually insane. The play was, in my opinion, was to come down here. The Andro kills you without having to get really out of position because he has a, like, he just walks up here and you're dead, and then he can resume. You can dash away or he can resume shooting your team. If you're over here though, and the Andro decides he wants to chase you, he uses his dashes. He's completely out of position.
Back to the fight.
The only other option there is to pre-fire your Q and hope you get a kill. But yeah, unlucky.
The war is not over.
Nice tip as well that I've kind of become a really big fan of is to just not expect your team to heal you ever. Out of combat healing's ridiculously OP. It's a little annoying having to wait for it, but honestly, you're not relying on somebody else. You're not taking team resources. You maybe lose a couple seconds of momentum, but it's either lose those couple seconds of momentum then or risk dying and being put on a respawn timer because your healer doesn't heal you or your team doesn't pill for you or whatever.
Special delivery.
This is a pretty awkward spot to be in. Well, it's kind of where you're forced, so.
Enemies behind us.
They got two of us.
Okay. Going here right now would be super fucking good. You guys could potentially push it if you had went up here. You get good angles. You can poke on point. You can peek out, hit that, hit here, hit over here. And the only way for them to get to you is Ruckus. Well, Ruckus can't get to you. Andro would have to dash to you through one of the windows, or they'd have to go all the way across the high ground and down this, or they would have to go and circle around. It's a pretty safe spot to be. Good angles. Really annoying for them. I fucking hate when people are inside that. Being here, you risk getting Andro ulted. You risk them just like running up on you out of nowhere. Assuming you don't know where the Lex is.
Kneel.
Ulting the Victor is okay because you needed the damage reduction. You miss your Q. And I honestly think you could have won this trade if, well, okay, you would have killed the Victor, I think. Had you, oh, you did right click. Okay, when I last watched it, it looked like, or I didn't know that you right clicked. And I was like, you could have won that. So ignore that, sorry.
Warrior dies 1,000 deaths.
Death awaits you all.
30 seconds
Step
remaining.
into the light. Impel it.
Standing here is pretty all right. Pretty effective with the Eminence. You're pretty safe. You kind of get poked
15
out.
seconds remaining.
Could maybe try going right and play with your Zen,
10,
but
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
you go for a touch here, which is respectable. However, like your team is way too far. I know it's a really bad habit. I still do it too all the time. And it seems harmless, but every time you die, you're giving the enemy more ult charge and you are giving them more credits as well. And at the end of the day, the minor things can really make a difference. So just be mindful of that.
Capture point spawning in 15 seconds. 5,
Going up here is risky again.
3, 2,
Well,
1.
okay, going up here might not be risky, but you have to be ready to dash to your team that's on the right. Playing with your team here, like playing with your Grovers, super nice. Like right off the bat.
They got two of us. They got two of us. That's two in a row.
Yeah, you die to the damage over time.
Enemy killing spree.
I don't really know what to tell you there.
Or it's not over.
Yeah. Again, you're really far from your team. You're not in Grover's heal range. There's no way the Pip uses his brain enough to turn around to you. Oh, if you hit that Q, he died. But yeah, Ruckus ults, and then you're just kind of... You could have tried going to your high ground from here and poking out with Qs, but honestly, at this point, I think it's too late. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys just lose off of all that.
Enemy killing spree.
I think maybe had you positioned yourself better at the beginning of the round, it might have influenced it to the point to where you guys could have won. However, I'm not completely sure. It's hard to win with your guys' comp. So yeah, your comp is really awful. But yeah, just in case you're curious, this is the Lian loadout that I run. They nerfed Inheritance, I believe, a couple patches ago, and I was like, wow, Eminence is actually dead content now. But playing it, it still feels good. Swift Jade, I only run it at level 2, but I mean, you can mess around with it. I'd suggest trying it, even if you don't like main this loadout or whatever. I think it could be good in case you go against any other scary dive comps. It's really useful having those dashes to get you out of trouble. But yeah, that is all I have, unfortunately. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want a game reviewed yourself, hop in my Discord, which is linked in the description. Also check out my Twitch. I am live almost every day and I'm usually playing Paladins. Yeah.